many of you ever thought it was just a matter of simply buckling a saddle on a horse, much like you buckle your pants? Well, it's not that simple. There's more than meets the eye when it comes to saddling a horse. And although I don't claim to be an expert on this topic, my family and I have owned horses and rode the rodeo circuit for about 7 years now, so I do know a little bit. Today I'd like to teach you 3 things. I'd like to teach you some safety precautions and safety tips. I'm going to teach you how to actually saddle this horse, and I'm going to teach you how to mount the horse once it's saddled. So let's first talk about some safety tips. Safety is the #1 most important thing when it comes to saddling or riding a horse. The safety precautions you take will just take a few minutes, but it's going to ensure that you have a good ride and that you'll be safe and your horse will as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about is respecting your animal. That's, in my opinion, the #1 safety rule. Once you respect your animal, your horse, they're going to return that respect back to you. I respect this horse by lovingly being gentle and talking to it and petting it before I do anything else. You're gaining this animal's respect as well as trust. So you'll talk to it and kind of stroke it and befriend it. She's going to, in return, be nice to me. The next safety rule is to remember that you're dealing with a live animal. Everything you do, you have to keep that in mind. We're never going to walk behind her. You're going to assume that all horses kick, even though she won't. I mean, she's pretty good. We've played with her enough. But you're going to assume the worst because she is a live animal. Something simple might spook her, and she may have never kicked in the past, but may do that once she's spooked. So we've got to expect the unexpected. That's the #1 safety rule, is respecting your horse. The other thing is to have the proper equipment. The equipment you use is of utmost importance. If you do not use the proper equipment, your horse could get hurt, and so could you. So now we're going to move into saddling this horse. Remember the respect issue, and you should be okay. To saddle her name is Smarty, and we're going to, before we even do anything by saddling, the first step that I like to do is to brush the horse. There's a few different reasons why we brush a horse. One, we brush a horse just in case she's rolled in the field and got any stickers and burrs that might get lodged under her saddle and cause her to buck. The other reason you brush a horse is to remove all the loose hair and dirt that could make her look ugly. You want her to look pretty too. And the third reason I like to brush a horse is because I think it's this time that this feels good for her, and it's our time of bonding. So she's going to actually like what we're doing here, and she's going to, once again, going to earn her trust, and she's going to relax a little bit. We bonded. The second thing you need to do is use a horse hoof pick. You're going to pick up her leg, and you're going to get all the loose rocks and pebbles and dirt out of her hoof. Because when you're riding, if she had something stuck in there, she might get it lodged up in there, and it might cause her discomfort, once again causing her to buck or kick. So you've got to remember that the horse's comfort is #1, so that she can have a safe and happy ride. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a saddle pad on her. You're going to take the saddle pad, and you're going to slowly do this, that's not to spook her. You're going to place it on her back. You want the wide side here and the shorter side here, and you want it squared in the middle. So you want it about 3 to 4 inches above that. Once you get that in place, you're ready to put the saddle on. Once again, you use a slow, fluid motion as to not spook her. You're going to gently place this saddle, once again, squared on her. Once you get it, you can move it if you need to. And then you're going to take, this is called your cinch strap. Take your stirrup and stick it over. And then take your cinch strap, and this is where the buckle, like the buckle of your belt loop, comes through. You're going to take it up once. You're going to wrap it around again and come straight through that again. You're pulling the slack as you go. Once you get it up here like this, pull a little slack out. Pulling the slack tightens your saddle. That's going to make sure you don't fall off. Then you're going to take this, wrap it through here, and back through here, almost like you do with the first step of tying your shoe. You're going to pull that slack out. Now this top one is the one you're going to use to tighten your saddle. You're going to tighten it as tight as you can get it. The tighter you get it, the safer you're going to be and the less likely you're going to be to fall off. The next thing you're going to do is tighten the back strap. This back one is supposed to be loose, unless you're ready for a rodeo. The back one is simply to stabilize it and hold it in place. Now that we've got that, square your horse, make sure she's standing, and we're going to finally mount your horse. Because of tradition and equipment places, there's a proper way to mount your horse. You're always going to mount your horse from the left. You simply put your leg in, put your hands up, and we're ready to ride. Now people ride horses for many reasons, for pleasure or sport. Whatever the reason is, safety is the main issue.